Welcome to Sleepy Chronicles. Whatever today brought you, the noise, the rush, the things that didn't go the way you wanted, you can set all of that down now. Lie back. Put your headphones in. Let your shoulders drop and your jaw unclench. This is your time, and there is nowhere else you need to be. If you enjoy what we do here, quiet voices, slow history, and the kind of stories that make your eyelids feel heavier with each sentence, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe. It costs nothing and means quite a lot. And let us know in the comments where in the world you're listening from. We read every single one. Tonight, we're going to Heian, Japan, to a palace in Kyoto, to silk and incense, and a silence that has its own weight, to the first morning of a life lived very close to beauty. So get comfortable. We'll take it from here. You arrived in darkness. The gates opened without ceremony. Someone led you through a corridor, then a room that smelled of cedar and something sweeter. You were told to sleep. You slept. Now it is morning, and the palace is nothing like you imagined. You expected grandeur. What you find instead is stillness. Through the narrow window, the garden is gray with early mist. A single pine at the center, perfectly placed. Somewhere distant, a bell low, unhurried, fading before you can count it. You dress and step outside. The corridor is already occupied. Women move through it in pairs, silk hissing softly against the wood floor. No one rushes. No one speaks above a murmur. Even the air seems to know that loudness is not permitted here. You stand still and try to understand the rules by watching. She finds you before you find anyone. Small, upright, robes layered in gray and deep green, each hem precisely placed. She looks at your hands first, a long moment, then at your face. Her name is Hana. Follow me, she says. Do not speak unless spoken to. She turns and walks. You follow. The room you are shown to is a lady's chamber. Screens pushed half open to the garden. Hana moves through it, adjusting things you cannot yet see need adjusting. A cushion moved 2 inches. An incense burner repositioned. A silk sleeve folded over a lacquered box with care that suggests the box matters. She does everything once, then steps back and looks at you. You understand. You are to do it again. You try. The cushion, you place it where it was. Hana says nothing. The incense burner Her stillness tells you it is wrong before you let go. You adjust. The sleeve over the box, folded just so. She moves on. No correction, no praise, just the next thing. The morning passes room to room, task to task. You learn that silence here is not absence. It has layers. The silence of an empty corridor is different from the silence of a room where someone is composing a poem, which is different again from the silence that falls when a senior lady passes. By midday, your back aches. Your feet have memorized 3 routes and confused 2 others. Hana stops at a window overlooking a small courtyard. She reaches into her sleeve and draws out something small, a dried sprig of cherry blossom, pale and papery, petals still holding their shape. She holds it out. You take it. You wait for an explanation. None comes. She is already walking. Your room at night is quieter than any room you have known. You sit with the sprig in your palm. The petals are dry, but do not crumble. Outside, the palace breathes differently in the dark, deeper, slower. The careful performance of the day settling into something more honest. How long does it take to learn a silence like this? You don't know yet, but perhaps the learning is already happening. Underneath, without your permission, the way sleep comes when you finally stop waiting for it. Your eyes grow heavy. The palace is still outside your window, and the first day, quietly, folds itself closed. The second morning, you wake before the bell. This surprises you. Yesterday, the palace felt foreign, its sounds, its rhythms, the particular quality of its silence. Today, something in you has already begun to adjust. The way a body finds its footing on a moving ship without being told to. The Sakura sprig is where you left it, beside the pillow. You look at it for a moment. Then you dress and go out. The corridor is the same corridor. And yet this morning you move through it differently, slower, more deliberate. Your footsteps softer, without quite deciding to make them so. 2 women pass. You lower your head at the right moment. They do not react, but Hana, appearing from a doorway ahead, sees it. She says nothing. She simply continues walking. You follow. Today you enter a lady's chamber while she is inside. This changes everything. Yesterday the rooms were empty objects to arrange, surfaces to tend, silence to maintain. Today there is a presence. Lady Fujiwara sits behind a screen, visible only as a shape, a shadow. the soft sound of a brush moving across paper. She does not acknowledge you. You are not here in the sense that matters. Hana moves first. The cushion, the incense, each gesture smaller than yesterday, quieter. You watch the angle of her bow lower than before, held longer. You watch where her eyes go, which is nowhere, which is everywhere, which is a skill you do not yet have. Then she steps back. You move forward. The cushion, you place it. The incense burner, you pause, remembering yesterday's correction, and position it a half-inch further than feels natural. Hana's stillness tells you nothing, which means it is right. The sleeve over the lacquered box, folded back just so. You bow, you step back. Behind the screen, the brush continues moving. You were never here. Before midday, Hana brings you a new robe. She holds it out without explanation. Layers of silk in pale gray and deep rose, each hem weighted precisely. She dresses you with the efficiency of someone who has done this 10,000 times, her hands moving quickly, adjusting without pausing. When she finishes, she steps back and looks. For the first time since you arrived, she nods. Once barely. You feel it the way you might feel the first warmth of sun after a long winter, disproportionately, embarrassingly much. The mistake happens in the afternoon. A small thing. You reach for an incense burner with the wrong hand, left instead of right. A distinction you did not know existed until the moment you made it. No one speaks. The room does not change. Lady Fujiwara behind her screen gives no sign of having noticed, but the other attendants did. You feel it in the way they do not look at you. A careful, deliberate not looking that is worse than any stare. The silence in the room is a different texture now. You finish the task. You bow, you leave. That evening, Hana finds you in the corridor. She stops in front of you, looks at your hands. She always looks at your hands first. Tomorrow, she says, do it again, correctly. She goes. You stand in the corridor for a moment after she has gone. The palace around you is settling into its nighttime self, slower, quieter, the layers of performance easing away. You go to your room. You sit. You pick up the Sakura sprig and hold it, turning it in your fingers the way you have begun to do without thinking. Today you learned things you cannot put into words. The angle of a bow, the weight of being seen making a mistake, the exact size of a nod, that means you are doing something right. Your body knows all of it. Your tongue knows none of it yet. The palace breathes outside your window. Your eyes close, and the second day follows the first into the dark. The third day begins with a different kind of instruction. Hana finds you before breakfast. She does not say good morning. She never does. She looks at your hands as always, and then she says, "Tonight there will be a gathering. Lady Fujiwara's rooms. Everything twice as careful. She leaves before you. Can ask what that means. You spend the morning learning what it means. The preparation takes hours. Every object in Lady Fujiwara's chamber is reconsidered. Cushions repositioned by fractions. The incense changed. Something deeper tonight, warmer, with a darkness underneath that the daytime scent doesn't have. Extra oil lamps placed at angles that took Hana several minutes to determine. Stepping back, tilting her head, moving each one by increments, until something only she could see was satisfied. You and 2 other attendants work alongside her in silence. The other women move with the ease of people who have done this before. You watch them and follow. Today, you make no mistakes, not because you have learned everything, but because you have learned enough to be careful about what you don't yet know. By late afternoon, the room is ready. Hana walks through it once, slowly, looking at everything. Then she nods, not at you specifically, not at anyone, just at the room. The guests arrive after dark. You take your place in the corner, standing still, hands folded, eyes directed at the middle distance, the way Hana showed you on the first day. You are furniture in the best sense. Present, functional, unobtrusive. But you see everything. There are 6 of them, ladies of the court. Robes layered in colors that mean things you are only beginning to understand. They arrange themselves around the room with the practiced ease of people who have been performing elegance. For so long, it has stopped being performance. Tea is poured. Incense rises in a thin pale thread toward the ceiling. Then the poetry begins. It moves around the room slowly. One voice, then another, then silence while someone composes, then a voice again. The poems are short. Some make the room laugh softly. Some make it go very quiet. You do not understand all the references, all the layers, but you feel the shape of each one. The way a piece of music can move you before you know its name. Lady Fujiwara composes last. The room stills. She takes the brush without hurrying. She writes with the focused patience of someone who knows that the poem already exists and she is simply finding it. The only sound is the brush on paper, and beneath that, the faint hiss of the oil lamps. She reads it aloud. You do not catch every word, but you hear one clearly, Sakura, cherry blossom, and something about falling, and something about what remains after. Without thinking, your hand moves to your sleeve. Your fingers find the sprig. You hold it dry, light, papery, and something tightens in your chest in a way that has no name yet. The room exhales. The guests leave gradually, the way good evenings end reluctantly in stages. You help clear, moving quietly through the room, restoring it to its daytime self. The other attendants work alongside you. No one speaks. When the last lamp is turned down, Hana appears at the doorway. She looks at the room, then at you. You did well tonight, she says. And then, for the first time since you arrived, she says your name. Just once, just your name, nothing attached to it. She goes. You stand in the doorway of the darkened room for a moment. The incense has burned down, but the smell remains, that deep, warm darkness, layered into the air, into the silk of the cushions, into the walls themselves. Your room, the sprig in your hand. The poem is still with you, the words you caught, the ones you didn't, the shape of Lady Fujiwara's voice as she read it. Sakura, falling, what remains? Is beauty made to be seen, or only to be felt? You turn the sprig slowly. The petals do not fall. They have held their shape through all of this, through the first morning, the new robe, the mistake, the nod, and now this, papery and pale, and somehow still here. Outside the palace is very quiet. Your eyes grow heavy. The third day closes around you like a hand, gently without asking. The fourth morning, the corridor feels different. You notice it before you can name it, a change in the quality of the silence, the way conversations stop a half-second too early when you pass. Two attendants near the eastern wing look at you, and then look away. Not rudely, carefully. Something has happened. You learn what it is before midday. A small object is missing from Lady Fujiwara's chamber, a lacquered comb kept on the shelf beside the screen. It was there yesterday evening after the gathering. This morning it was not. No one says your name. No one points. But the logic of the palace is simple, and everyone knows it. You are new. You were in the room, and the comb is gone. The not looking intensifies. The careful silences multiply. You go about your work. You fold, arrange, bow, step back. You do everything correctly, the angle, the order, the precise placement of each thing. But correctness, you are learning, is not always enough. Sometimes the story a room tells about you moves faster than anything you can do with your hands. By midday, you have been looked at sideways by more people than you can count, and spoken to by none of them. You were in that room. You touched the lacquered box, folded the sleeve back over it, just so, the way Hana showed you. You were careful. You were always careful. You did not take the comb. You have never taken anything. But knowing this and being known to be innocent are two different rooms. And right now, you are standing outside both of them. You keep working. There is nothing else to do. The incense burner positioned correctly. The cushion placed without hesitation. You move through the afternoon tasks with the focused stillness of someone who understands that falling apart is a luxury this place does not permit. Hana finds you in the late afternoon, in a corridor near the garden wing. She stops in front of you, looks at your hands, always the hands first, then your face. Did you take anything from her room? No, you say. The word comes out steadier than you expected. She holds your gaze for a long moment. It is not the look of someone searching for guilt or innocence. It is something more careful than that, a reading, a weighing, something done below the level of words. You hold still and let her look, then stand straight and wait. She goes. You stand straight, you wait. No resolution comes that evening. No one arrives to say the comb has been found. No one comes to you with an apology or an accusation. The palace simply continues, lamps turned down, footsteps retreating, the gradual deepening of the night silence. Whatever is happening, it is happening somewhere you cannot see. At a pace the palace sets for itself. You go to your room. You sit on the floor and take the Sakura sprig from your sleeve. You have held it every night since Hana gave it to you, turning it slowly, feeling the dry, papery weight of it, the way the petals hold their shape against all reason. Tonight you hold it differently, tighter. The stems press into your palm and you let them. The petals do not fall. They never fall. But tonight that feels less like comfort and more like something you are asking of them. Stay. Just stay. You set it down in front of you and look at it. 4 days in this place. You have learned the angle of a correct bow and the weight of an incorrect one. You have learned that silence has textures and that Hana's nod means more than most people's sentences. You have learned that beauty here is not decoration. It is a language, and you are still learning its alphabet. And now this. You lie back. The ceiling is dark and still. Outside, the wind moves through the garden, slow, unhurried, indifferent to everything inside these walls. Stand straight and wait. You said the true thing when asked. You kept working when it would have been easier to stop. The rest is not yours to carry tonight. Your breathing slows, your hands loosen, and the body, as it always does, for everyone who has ever lain in a dark room with an unresolved thing pressing at the edges of their mind, decides, without asking permission, that it has held enough for one day. Your eyes close. The palace breathes outside your window. Sleep arrives, quietly, without ceremony, without asking whether you deserve it. Your room, the sprig in your hand. 5 days. The same sprig, dry, light, papery. Petals still holding their shape against all reason. You turn it slowly and think about what Hana said. It holds first, sometimes for longer than seems possible. Outside, the palace settles into its nighttime self. The silence deepens into something more honest. Somewhere in the garden, the wind moves through the pine, low and constant, like breathing. You set the sprig beside the pillow, where it has been every night. You lie back. If these quiet evenings have meant something to you, if this palace and its silences have made your own night a little softer, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to Sleepy Chronicles. It costs nothing and means more than you know. We will be here next time with another place, another story to carry you towards sleep. But for now, the palace breathes outside your window. Hana is somewhere in the corridors, moving through the dark with the ease of someone who has long since made her peace with this place. And you are exactly where you are supposed to be. Your eyes are heavy. Your breath is slow. The Sakura holds. It always holds. Sleep. Your room. The sprig in your hand. 5 days. The same sprig, dry, light, papery. Petals still holding their shape against all reason. You turn it slowly and think about what Hana said. It holds first, sometimes for longer than seems possible. Outside, the palace settles into its nighttime self. The silence deepens into something more honest. Somewhere in the garden, the wind moves through the pine, low and constant, like breathing. You set the sprig beside the pillow, where it has been every night. You lie back. If these quiet evenings have meant something to you, if this palace and its silences have made your own night a little softer, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to Sleepy Chronicles. It costs nothing and means more than you know. We will be here next time with another place, another story to carry you towards sleep. But for now, the palace breathes outside your window. Hana is somewhere in the corridors, moving through the dark with the ease of someone who has long since made her peace with this place. And you are exactly where you are supposed to be. Your eyes are heavy. Your breath is slow. The Sakura holds. It always holds. Sleep.